Oh, welcome. My name's Trish. I'm very excited about today's topic. It is the drones in New Jersey. Now, it's not just New Jersey. They have been captured all over the world, but primarily in New Jersey. So I'm very excited today to take a deep dive and have a look at what this could be. I'm keeping a very open mind today. I'm most likely going to do a second reading on my conspiracy channel where I can delve deep into the alien UFO kind of questions, maybe share a few experiences that I've had that may possibly be related to this event that's happening right now. But for today's reading on this channel, they've asked me to keep very logical here. I was stalling a little bit this morning, wasn't quite sure how to tackle this. I have so many questions, there's so much I want to know, and I wasn't sure which direction to go with this topic, so they've asked me to be very logical to start with. I also wrote down a bunch of questions, and then I asked the cards, what do I need to focus on? Now, they did mention Asia, so that was not China was not one of my questions. So it will be one of my questions because that's what they've asked. And the other thing is whether this is benevolent or malevolent. So that was the other question that they would like me to focus on that I didn't have in my list of questions. I also asked if I am okay to read this topic, if I should read this topic, and if I'm ready psychically to engage in such a topic. They said yes. They also said go for it. So that was the message that I received. So to start with, I'm going to be very logical, asking the questions about what this could possibly be. Is it man-made? Is it alien tech? Is it man-made tech? Is it part of a coup d'etat? There's many questions that I have. Now, I did say in the December predictions, I told you about the dream that I had where people were viewing something in the sky. I said I didn't know whether this is UFO or if this is some kind of new technology or weapon system. I didn't know what it was. I personally didn't see it in the dream, so I couldn't describe what it looked like, but many people were talking about it, and this is what I was dreaming about last month. I also did another reading which I will go through with one of the questions. At the Obama reading, I said what is next, and the drone card came out, so I didn't really elaborate on that too much, but it was there in the cards. So it has come up in the predictions. If in the December predictions, if you watch that reading, I did say there was a lot of busyness around policymakers and elites or people higher up trying to get a strategy here for this and trying to get planning and strategy in place around this. So I don't know, maybe this is what it is that they were talking about for the December predictions, the very busyness and not knowing, because they've come out and said they don't know what it is. They have no idea what it is. Everybody's seeing it, so there's no hiding this. If you haven't seen it or looked at videos on it, apparently they're very large drones, vehicle size drones in the sky over New Jersey, but they have been capturing things around the world as well. So a lot going on. I also find it very interesting that because I went back through some of my prediction readings last night, because I knew that I had the sightings and disclosure cards in there, and I just wanted to see where that was. It was back in September. I did the October reading. The disclosure card was coming out. Also around the military was also involved. I've been getting the military a lot lately, and I have been seeing sightings which I don't normally do on this channel, in some of the readings. So I think I said the word in the November readings, something around sightings or the military resistance here, and it came up in November, and I was taking it as the hearings, the disclosure hearings, which very well could have been, but it has been a hot topic with my cards over the last couple of months. So from September, when I read for the October readings, round about the 11 or 12 minute mark in that reading, I talk about disclosure and something going on. I also talk about in that reading how it could be more people seeing things in the sky and either thinking they're UFOs when they could be just military, or that they are actual UFOs. So I said that in October. So that was in my October reading, which I mentioned in September. So I've also said it for the December reading as well, that there is something in the sky and not knowing if it's UFOs or a weapon system or some kind of new technology. So that came up again. So it has been happening in my readings for a couple of months now, that's saying something's on the cards on the horizon to be happening. So I'm very curious as to what this is, whether it is man-made, whether it is a distraction, whether it is actually a UFO. Please excuse all the noises out there. Whether it's a UFO. So let's get into this reading and we'll have a look. Now I have some beautiful UFO decks this is my decks that I use when I do my weird readings on the other channel. They're called Weird Wednesday readings on this channel, which I haven't done for a very long time. And I use my Neptune Moon deck, which is a very beautiful deck. Also, I use my Realm deck as well. So I'll be reading those ones on the other channel today. But let's get into today's reading. Okay, so first question I'm using to start with my predictions deck, just a very basic deck here to see if we can see the full current events around the world. So I'm using this deck today to see if there's anything that can come out. Really just an opening question, letting the cards speak, but mostly I'm wanting to know, what are these drone, is what people are calling them. They may not be. So what are these anomalies in the sky that everybody's seeing, particularly around New Jersey? Okay, also wanted to mention, these cards have just reminded me, they just fell out. Wanted to, it says military plane too, but wanted to just mention in the December predictions, I said that people are either going underground, people are busy, almost going into panic. I'd said it wasn't quite panic, but it was busyness, not knowing what to do. And I said some people are going into hiding, or some people are going into bunkers. I also said that I felt in the dream that I had that certain people and their families were getting onto planes. So I don't know what's going on with the elites. Are they panicking? Are they going in? It wasn't quite panic either that I was picking up on. It was just strategy, planning, being ready, organizing. Busyness is what I said. It wasn't quite panic. It's almost like maybe they had a plan, or trying to put plans in motion going on there. But I did say bunkers. It was giving me the feeling of bunkers, and also with the planes and families exiting. So, and I did say that too in the December predictions, but these cards have just reminded me to mention that, because it could actually be connected to this reading that I'm doing right now. Now the military planes, just checking that we are recording still. Military planes, one of my questions, so that's very interesting. Or, as I said, the word plane, in the dream that I had, certain people and their families were getting onto planes, and this says planes. So maybe elites or certain people are going into bunkers. So this is something we do need to keep an eye out for. We do need to be watching to see what the elites are doing. The people that have those bunkers, those fancy bunkers that they created earlier this year, are they using them? Are they going off scene? Are they disappearing? And also, are there certain people and their families getting put onto planes? Because that's what came up in my dream, came up in the predictions, and also showing here now for me to talk about when I'm talking about this subject. Okay, also don't want to make anyone fearful. I'm not getting, that was the other thing I said when I read for the December, I said my UFO radars are going off. So, and that hasn't happened to me for many years. But yeah, interesting. And then all of a sudden we're getting sightings all over the world. Now I'm going to explain a little more on my other channel. This is a topic that I'm very familiar with. I've had many kind of dreams, and I've had a few months ago I had a message come through. So I just wanted to, I'll probably put that on my other channel, my conspiracy channel. But for now I want to stay very logical, like the cards have said. So let's ask the cards. First question today is, what are those drones over New Jersey? What interesting cards on the table. Now, this card here comes out of my Neptune Moon deck, which is one that I use to read on UFOs and kind of weird stuff. It is saying to me, the question is, it's called Windows to the Soul, but it's called Your Purpose and Truth. So what it is indicating to me is that I need to be very truthful about okay, a little bit difficult. Look, I try to stay not too weird. Like, even though I do love the weird stuff, I try not to disclose too much of my past experiences. But the cards are indicating that I need to share with you a few things. Now, I was going to share some things over on my other channel, on my weird channel, but they're indicating that I need to share a couple of things on this channel. Okay, the first thing I'm going to share with you, and I'm picking very minor, soft situations here, nothing too out there, nothing too crazy. A couple of months ago, maybe even somewhere, I did write down the date. I wrote down when it happened. I may have put it on my old phone, I'm not sure, but I'll have to track back and get the exact date for this. I wasn't actually going to share this today, but I had a dream, and it was playing over and over. Now, when I have dreams, I'm a prophetic dreamer, so when I have dreams and they sing to me in dreams, it means it's a very important topic that they're telling me, something world event that's going to happen that they're trying to tell me and that I had to pay attention to. So they were playing this music almost like violins or harps or something over and over again in this dream, and they kept saying over and over again, we are coming home, or we are going home. I couldn't understand it, which one it was. It was either we are coming home or we are going home, over and over again. And then they'd play this little bit of music, harps or violin or some kind of strange music, we are coming home or we are going home, over and over again in this dream that I had. And this was a few months back. I'm sharing this because I'm just, maybe it's connected, maybe it is something actually going on. I also had a dream many years ago. I've had many dreams about this kind of topics. One of the dreams that I had is that we had to learn discernment, and this is something I've been practicing for many years. I've been learning, waiting, because I knew something was coming. And I was having these kind of dreams between 1998 and 2011, the strongest for me. So I'm sharing this because I think it's important. And back then, one of those dreams was people going into bunkers. I could see people going to the left down bunkers, but I was going to the right, more up a hill. So that's the direction. I was going in a different direction to other people. I also knew that I had to have very strong discernment at the time. I had to learn it and develop it to know that, and I think everybody does, to know whether this is good or bad, to know whether this is real or not real. That's the thing. So they were teaching me discernment back then, to learn if things could be trusted, or to learn if it is actually a distraction. So I wanted to share that with you, those couple of things, because I think they are relevant to the topic today. They are also relevant to the December predictions that I made. So, and that's just keeping it very basic as well. I did have another thing happen over on the weekend. They asked me to connect in a different way. Actually, I'm having heart palpitations, so I'm not quite sure what's going on here body-wise for me. But they came in and they asked me to connect in a slightly different way than I normally do. I had to really focus on truth today, and I also had to focus on cosmic family, they said, which I never do, but that was what they asked me to tap into today. So that's what I've done. I've tapped in, and the energy feels very different for me. I'm getting like heart palpitations and all kind of things going on here, really strange heart activity going on. But they've asked me to be very truthful. This is why I'm speaking so truthfully today. I'm not inciting fear in any way. What I am, mostly the message I'm giving you today is discernment. So learning to know between good and bad, and learning to know between what is real and what is not real. I am going to delve in today with the cards and try and get a bit more insight for you to see for yourself, so you can decide if you think this is real or not real, if you think this is man-made or extraterrestrial, or if you think this is good or bad, benevolent or malevolent, as the cards came out asking me to focus on today. Okay, so we've got some tension escalating. So this could be now could be tension escalating around the events, because that's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the sightings that everybody's having around the world. So it is saying that tension escalating more and more. Maybe people are starting to really worry about it because the government's not giving us any answers. The Defense Department, all those kind of agencies that you would expect to know what's going on, they're acting like they don't know what's going on. Whether they do or they don't know, they're acting like they don't know what's going on. So this could be causing escalating tension with the people. Now, I was getting a lot of busyness going on too, like a lot of, it wasn't quite panic, but it was a lot of busyness going on around the December, something going on in December. Now it's saying consequences of damage done and a wreckage or disaster down the bottom here. So what I'm thinking is, was there, we'll probably never know, but was there some kind of wreckage or disaster involving other vehicles or other sightings, other disclosure, other UFOs, other things in the sky? Was there some kind of wreckage? Was there one recently? Okay, so they're showing me here a wreckage or disaster. Now, a wreckage with one of these drones, or a wreckage previously a few months ago that they're now investigating with, that these drone type things are investigating, because they're saying there's consequences for damage done. Did we shoot down a drone? Did we shoot down energy weapons to shoot down some kind of craft in the sky? And now it's saying consequences for damage done relating to a wreckage or a disaster. Completely not where I'm expecting to go with this reading today, but this is the questions on the table. Tension escalating around that. Now it's a planned outcome. Okay, that's interesting, because I'm in the December readings I was talking about busyness around making plans or putting strategies in place or getting strategies together so that the outcome of this event that was happening in December wasn't as bad as what it could be. So they were trying to get some kind of strategies or planning here, and it's saying it's a planned outcome, which is very interesting here amongst these other cards. Housing issues is what I connected to the truth here of what I had to tell you about the dream that I had a few months ago, where they kept saying over and over again, we are coming home or we are going home, in this dream over and over again. So I think that's connected there. So let's ask another question. Bottom of the deck was sighting disclosure. Bottom of the deck. Actually, it was sitting on the top of the deck, flipped upright, sighting or disclosure. Are these drones man-made? Are these? So I'm back here. Now I've asked if it's man-made technology, and in the middle we've got science breakthrough. So that could indicate that it could possibly be a science breakthrough or some kind of new technology, man-made here. Now the other thing that really bothers me here, and it was one of the things I thought it could have been. Now I remember back in COVID, at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, there was drones, little drones, more like human drones, man-made drones, and they were spraying things, whether that was disinfectant or whatever it was. But then Italy exploded with COVID. So I'm only talking about that now because we've got spreading something, a health matter. So may be important to, whether this is man-made technology or not, to be cautious about radiation or something being sprayed from the drone. So just be aware that when you're out around these, just be very cautious, I would say, because it could be radiation if it is non-human tech, or it could be so some kind of radiation that doesn't work well with humans, being it's a health matter or a spreading and mutating, or it could actually be part of a planned outcome, which we saw on the other reading, to spread something or a mutated strain of something. So just be very aware of that, because they're coming out in the cards. Now down the bottom, they asked me to read this deck, but I'm not quite sure why they wanted me to read this deck. They're just showing very high emotion, so very over emotion here, lots of high emotions going on here. 2 water cards, or 3 water cards, because it is emotions. The moon card here I just wanted to talk about. I found it weird that a few months ago we had the mini moon coming in, and also an anomaly people captured where something looked like it changed course to head towards us, and now here a few months later we've got drone sightings all over the world. Okay, still is not giving me, these lines here is giving me that we need to be cautious around health related to these drones. So whether that is extraterrestrial type radiation that doesn't agree with us, or whether it is a planned outcome to spray something, to spread something. So just be very aware of that. And that's okay. These cards are saying walk away, not for you. That's very interesting. So especially when it says walk away from here, so again it's a caution card saying around these drones you need to be very cautious for your own health. Definitely health matter, so be very cautious, whether that is radiation or whether that is something that's being sprayed. Tell us about the drones in New Jersey. Don't want to freak you out. These are normally cards I would read on my other channel, which are a little bit out there. So I'm going to be very, very brief in describing these because I don't want to scare anybody. But we've got the planet of the crossing, which some people call Nibiru, but we've got the planet of the crossing. We also have a heightened alertness around survival mode for people going into survival mode or being fearful about their own survival. I feel that's what the emotions, heightened emotions, were in the last reading, is around survival mode. Now I was going to do 2 separate readings today, one for this channel and one for my conspiracy channel, but I think I just might keep it all together. So here we've got survival mode, heightened alertness. So you need to be alert here, you need to be aware. Like I said, you need to have discernment and be very alert here. And then there could also be people that are quite worried about their own survival mode, going into survival mode. Now we've got the way forward into the future, so this is what is coming into the future. Could be like scout. I've got a little bit of hesitancy when I talk about these kind of cards around this event that's happening. So I don't want to be fearful and put out fear-based readings, but I feel there's something coming in the future. Not what we're seeing now, but there's something more coming in the future because we've got the future card. Now the eagle vision is saying we need to be alert, we need to keep our eyes on the sky here. Eagle vision. Then we've got they're coming, expecting an arrival. That's why I said I'm not going to elaborate too much on these cards because I don't want to be too fear-based here. These are normally from my conspiracy type readings, my conspiracy channel. It is saying we need to protect ourselves from negativity. So here we do need to be very eyes open, alert, protecting ourselves from negativity. Could very simply just mean, like I said in that last reading, be cautious when we're around these crafts, because I don't know if it's radiation or it's something that affects our health, or if we're being sprayed by something. So we need to be very cautious around our health, and this is saying protect yourselves here. Go with the flow, winds of change. So changes are coming. There's changes coming in this area. So I won't go into those ones anymore because I don't want to scare anybody. Bottom of the deck here, I just want to show here, it says purity surrounds. You need to cleanse negative energy. Purity surrounds. So it's what I'm saying. Be very cautious about these crafts or drones, whether it's radiation or whether it is being sprayed by something. We need to be cleanse. We need to cleanse here, cleanse negative energy. But so maybe they're surrounded by some kind of maybe they're surrounded by something that's not good for us. So just be very, again, another caution from these cards. Okay, so the cards wanted me to ask if it is something we should worry about. Is it malevolent or benevolent? So we as people need to worry. So let's see what the cards have to say. So the cards are saying it's part of a planned outcome. So it's been planned. It's always been planned, part of a planned outcome. And it says no, don't fear. Most importantly here is do not fear. Don't worry, don't fear. That's what the cards are saying here. Now, I just wanted to get through a couple of other questions. We've got a couple of cards underneath here. Social media. Again, here, look at these cards. I spoke earlier about a wreckage that maybe we brought down with energy weapons. And underneath here it's got a disaster, energy weapon, a planned outcome because of consequences for damage done surrounding a disaster or wreckage or an energy weapon, planned outcome. Very interesting. Social media. So maybe this stuff is on social media. Tornado or winds. I'm not quite sure what tornado or winds means. Let me just see if I can pull another card for that, because I don't know. It doesn't fit. So I just... No, unclear. Social media. Similar cards coming out, but no, unclear. So maybe it's not meant to be in the reading at all. Maybe it came out accidentally. I know there's no coincidences, no accidentally. It is here, that's why I'm talking about it, but the no card has come out next to it. Okay, is this part of a planned outcome from politicians? Or higher up above politicians. I say that only because when I done the Obama reading, I got the drone card. What was next? The drone card came out in that reading. So let's just see if it's a planned outcome from politicians or higher up than politicians. Commercial airline, again, is making me think about the dream that I had for the December predictions about certain people and their families getting put on planes. The answer is no to that one. Is it part of a coup d'etat or part of a political scandal or political plan? No. The answer is no to that one. Okay, the cards also asked me to ask about Asia. So is China involved? Is China involved? Cards are not pulling anymore for China until I talk about this. They asked me to talk about Asia, not China. Then we've got this rebellion and rising up, martial law declared in South Korea. Now there's an indictment for that leader. This, I think, is related here. So it's saying an uprising or rebellion. I feel it's connected to South Korea. So I'm going to ask, are these drones or what? No, sorry. Was that martial law declared related to the drones in any way? The answer to that question is there's changes coming, so society collapse in that area, or they are worried about the changes that would be coming that would cause society collapse, but I feel like it's already happening. There is a society collapse in there, changes coming to that particular place, which is South Korea, I think it is. but they're looking at evidence that they have on experiments. Evidence that they have on experiments, or what were they experimenting with, or are they experimenting with something related to the drones? Are the elites going into bunkers or on being put onto planes to get away? Answer to that question is that they are preparing for society collapse, uprising or rebellion of the people. Okay, underneath, big city, security cameras, things caught on cameras, footage caught, people, these things, it's the sightings that everybody's having, capturing on cameras in a big city, which is New Jersey. This is what we're talking about. Society goes into rebellion or uprising. Now, I don't know if it's connected to the martial law in South Korea, but my question was that I'm asking for this reading is, are the elites going into hiding, going onto planes, exiting, going into bunkers? Here it's saying they are preparing or stocking up for society collapse or the uprising and the rebellion of the people. They have plans in place to prepare for that. Okay, anything else you can tell me about the drones? Okay, are the drones extraterrestrial? Are those drones, because they do say that they move in funny ways. Okay, one of the politicians even said that when they sent their helicopters or whatever it was towards it, it went dark. So, and they have said that they've been moving unusually or going very fast, not like normal technology that we have. So are they extraterrestrial? Are they some of the sightings that's been captured around the world are, because we're talking here, my question was, are they extraterrestrial? Because there've been sightings all around the world, so some of those are around the world. Some of them are fake. We've got fake news hiding something. Okay, so there's just got to mention here that this also represents Trump. This is my Donald Trump card. Now, it could be Donald Trump hiding something, or it could be just saying that some of these sightings are being faked to look like extraterrestrials, but definitely some of them that have been captured are extraterrestrial. Some of them are. Now, the question that the cards that I've pulled from my UFO deck, my Weird Wednesday deck, is going home, returning to roots, or going home. Again, sounds like the message that they brought through my dreams here a few months back, repeating over and over, we are coming home or we are going home, one of the two. So some of that is going on as well. So whether they're leaving the planet, which is very scary if they are, or whether they are returning, but interesting, there's a lot going on here. Something's been hidden, or knowledge or information that the elites have, they're hiding, they're not telling us. They are worried about society collapse. They are worried about, the other card that came out was, so it was society collapse and rebellion of the people. So that's why some things are being hidden from us. But some of the events that are captured around the world are extraterrestrial. Okay, the cards that came out that I'm not sure are meant to travel or movement, which is what these vehicles do. It's there to, this is the Wanderer's Path, travel or movement. So that is taking place with these. Visionary's mind, we need to think a bigger scale to do with some of these sightings. So outside of our little bubbles, outside of our little worlds. Sacred gratitude, prayer and faith. Now, a lot of people are turning to faith, and I did say that in one of my dreams, actually. The dream that I had for the December visions, I was collecting religious papers, a lot of religious pamphlets, and I did say people are either going to be turning to faith, turning to religion, or they're going to be putting it together with things that have been predicted in the Bible and saying this was predicted in the Bible, Bible predictions are coming forward. So this card is indicating connected to our faith, our religion, our turning to God. It does say source there somewhere as well, source origin, which is God, source energy. I say source energy is God energy. So here it's saying connecting to our roots, connecting to God, connecting to source, but people having really praying, I guess, and connecting to faith. So it is worrying a lot of people. People are fearful, and I guess if you've seen that, and I have seen a UFO, I saw one 2011, actually saw one, and it was 40 minutes. It hovered there for 40 minutes. That's just one of the things that's happened to me around these type of things. So I have had a sighting myself, so I do know how scary that is when that happens to you. So it is saying here about a lot of people are focusing on getting themselves right with their faith, getting themselves right with their beliefs, and there's a lot of, I guess, maybe religious talk coming out. I don't follow those religious channels, but I'm guessing there's a lot of religious talk about getting yourself right with God or Jesus or whatever it is. Now, this is what this card is indicating. Not where I was going with this reading, but that's what the cards are saying. So very interesting. So it is saying that some of the things are faked here, but some of them are very real around the world, the ones around the world. But they're also hiding something from us. When they're saying they know nothing, certain people do know. They are hiding it because they are worried about the rebellion and the society collapse. This is what the cards are saying. It's come out quite a few times, and that's what the cards are saying. It's very, very interesting reading. I think I will put this on both. I'm going to put this reading up on my main channel, and then I'm just going to pull a couple of extra cards for the end of my conspiracy channel reading, just to go a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to ask a couple more questions for the conspiracy channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.